This is The Scoop for Thursday.
I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines. Florida residents could be one step closer to being able to openly carry guns in public after a state appeals court ruled yesterday that Florida's ban is unconstitutional. A 3-judge panel said the open carry ban is incompatible with the nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation. The ruling came in a challenge filed by Stanley Victor McDaniels, who was convicted of openly carrying a gun on the 4th of July in 2022 in Pensacola. It also comes after years of legislative debate about potentially repealing the open carry ban, a position supported just this week by Governor Ron DeSantis. William McNeil Jr., the man who was punched during a traffic stop in Jacksonville, has filed a federal lawsuit against the officer and the city. The incident, which occurred on February 19th, sparked nationwide outrage when video of the officers punching and dragging McNeil, a 22-year-old college student, from his car, went viral. McNeil is being represented by civil rights attorneys Ben Crump and Harry Daniels, who held a press conference yesterday. Crump said the state attorney's office failed to hold the officers accountable for their actions.
The questions that you are asking us on, I want you to please, as Attorney Daniels said, challenge their narratives. Ask them the questions, because we have got video.
Jacksonville officer D. Bowers was cleared of any criminal wrongdoing by prosecutors who said the traffic stop and use of force were justified. As we enter peak hurricane season, some members of Congress are sounding the alarm on how Americans receive communication during an emergency. WMNF's Chris Young reports the U.S. House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee held a hearing on public safety communications on Tuesday.
The hearing focused on tools used by first responders like 911 systems and emergency alert systems for the public like radio. Many of the U.S. representatives on the committee represent areas that have suffered natural disasters, including Kat Cammack of Florida.
These gaps can really mean the difference between life or death. Certainly, as someone who represents a district that saw 3 major hurricanes in the span of 13 months, we know this firsthand.
Questions were raised about the Next Generation Warning System grant program, which gave millions to stations in rural and underserved communities to improve their warning systems. But the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which oversaw the funds, is shutting down this month after President Trump's call to defund it. Randy Wright, Executive Director of Media Properties at the University of Florida in WUFT, says the loss of funds could put communities in peril, and his station is already feeling the effects.
We just put through an STA with the FCC to operate our full-power television transmitter at half power because it's out of date, it's old, we can't get parts for it any longer.
Many of the representatives called on the Trump administration to reinvest more in public emergency communication infrastructure after the rescission of all public media funding. Chris Young, WMNF News.
Chief Financial Officer Blaise Ingoglia held a press conference in Lake Mary yesterday with the focus on firefighters. In his speech, Ingoglia emphasized the higher risk they have today of being diagnosed with cancer.
40 years ago, 50 years ago, you had a lot of structures that were built primarily out of wood. So when a fire burned, there was risk to the firefighters' health, but some of the cancers that we are seeing are directly attributable to some of the things that we are seeing burned in these fires today.
Ingoglia said that as a representative, he fought for years for this piece of legislation.
This is a piece of legislation that I had sponsored when I was in the Florida House, knowing how important it is. And what we did was help give monetary support and treat certain cancers as they were only obtained because you guys are firefighters.
Ingoglia presented 16 fire departments from across the state with checks totaling $1.4 million for the purchase of the necessary equipment to keep first responders safe. It's going to be partly sunny with a high of 90 and a slight chance for an afternoon shower. Lows tonight will be in the mid-70s, mostly sunny with a high of 90 on Friday.
This is The Scoop.
Recorded at WMNF Tampa.